So I'm back from the doctor Tom's, and I had posted that was going to go get my blood drawn because I thought that I was having issues with my thyroids, and I still may be. I don't know, but we won't find that out till tomorrow. But she drew the blood, and it was to test this, that, and the other. And I was actually getting ready to leave the joint, and they're like, she needs to see you again. I was like, well, I know it's luscious, but you could have just took a picture. And apparently, because I told her that I've been really tired lately, like really tired, which with what I do for a living, I don't have a regular sleep schedule. I work a lot. I don't have a regular sleep schedule because I'm at a station for 96 hours straight. So who sleeps a regular schedule doing that? So I didn't pay that much attention to it, other than to think, well, maybe I've got some thyroid issues. My weight has kind of fluctuated a little bit, but that could just be because, I'm fat. But anywho, so when I went back in there, she said, yeah, I know why you've been so tired lately. And I said, why? And she said, you don't have any blood. I said, what? And she told me that my hemoglobins was like 7.7. Well, normal is 12. And she said that typically they will transfuse a person when it gets to 8. And I said, well, so she gave me some iron pills, which I take a vitamin every day. I don't have much iron's in it, but I do take a lady vitamin every day. So, but there's my fatty fat pills. And then she gave me some vitamin C, which I just could have got that. I probably got that in the vitamin cabinet. I wonder how much that shit cost for vitamin C. Tablets. $3.93. Well, that's how many pills though. Take one tablet a day. Take one tablet twice. See, that's twice a day. Bullshit, I can't remember to do all that. How many's in it? 60, I would reckon, right? Yeah. See, here's the thing. Up until a couple of months ago, I didn't take 60. I didn't take any medication. That's why I don't want to go to the doctor. People always, well, you should go to the doctor. No, because when you go to the doctor, they tell you that there's things wrong and you have to have medication. I don't want to take medication. So she told me to take the iron pills, which I used to work in a nursing home. I know what this stuff does to you. I'm not really excited about that. This is twice a day, too. See, if it's once a day, I'm good. But this twice a day, I'll never remember to take this shit twice a day. But she said take the vitamin C and then take the iron because the vitamin C helps your body absorb the iron better. I can't know about it. But anyway, so she said that we're going to do this for a month and then come back and check it again. And if it's not any better, she said you might have to have a transfusion. No, I won't either. No, I'll just drink some red Kool-Aids or something. I'll just make it seem like I got more bloods than what I got, because I don't want none of that shit. I don't know. No, I don't want none of my innards touched. I don't want Ladytown touched. I don't want nobody else's fluids. No. So, yeah. But anyway, so that was good. And I went and had lunch with that whore Melanie. And of course, here she was, being a whore. She is who she is. What do you want from her? Oh, that's good, Kosh. Trying to think if anything else happened or any kind of newsworthy stuff or things. Or I noticed a few people had commented on the video about the kid fighting his teacher, and I think pretty much everybody kind of has the same consensus about that deal. Like I said, you know, when I was growing up, if we would have disrespected a teacher like that, honey, we wouldn't have no teeth left, because I promise you faithfully, our mothers would have knocked them down our throats. And that's just how that would go. But like I said, we live in this society where people are so afraid to discipline their kids, or, you know, afraid that it's going to scar them emotionally if they get told no. And, you know, everybody gets a trophy. You know, it don't matter if you're like the suckiest person on the team. Guess what? You get a trophy too. Even if you didn't come in first place. And, I mean, I think it's good to recognize an effort. Okay, well, you participated, and that's great. But I think the whole purpose, to me, and I could be wrong here, but I think the whole purpose behind giving prizes and giving, you know, some sort of incentive or some sort of reward is to sort of challenge people and raise the bar and bring out the best in them. Not, well, everybody gets a prize. Do you know what I'm saying? Because to me, what that equates to is the real world where, and unfortunately, this happens in a lot of places, there's no incentive in terms of like raises and such. And so, you know, everybody makes the same amount. So the person that comes in and works really, really hard is getting paid the same amount as the lazy bastard who isn't doing a thing, you know. But that's how we're raising these kids. And they've got this whole self-entitled thing going on that, you know, well, why should I have to do extra? I'm going to get a prize too. And it doesn't work that way. It never did for us growing up. You learn to deal with disappointment. You know what? You all didn't win. Go cry it out. There's not going to be a trophy. There might be a hamburger from McDonald's if you quit your snarfling. But if you don't, you ain't getting that either. And you learn to deal with it. That's just how it went. You learn to deal with it. But it seems that, like I said, kids today, they don't have to learn to deal with it because they've got mom and dad and everybody else. You know, I'm all for building a child up. I'm all for a child having a good sense of self and strong self-esteem, and I'm for it. But you know what? Do that by getting them involved in sports. Do that by getting them involved in volunteerism. You know, get them involved. You know, not just give them everything for the sake of giving it to them. You know, because you deserve it. Maybe they don't deserve it. You know, maybe they don't deserve it. You know, I had a very strict, very tough mother. And you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. There was times growing up that I wanted things that the other little kids had that I didn't get. You know, prime example. When I was in 6th grade, I played basketball. Okay, and our team colors were red and white. Now, honey, every single girl, and if I could find the picture, which I think I have it, I actually think it's on my Facebook. Every kid on that basketball team, every girl, had a pair of the leather high-top Converse, the red and white Converse. Honey, I wanted a pair of them shoes so bad I couldn't stand it. But you know what I got? I'm gonna tell you what I got. I got brown Trax tennis shoes from Kmart. Yeah, the only one on the team with a big old pair of brown Trax tennis shoes. Now, understand, it wasn't that my parents were in the poorhouse. It wasn't that, you know, we were eating government cheese every night. It was just that my mother had this very strong sense of just because somebody else has something or just because everybody else has something doesn't mean that you have to have it too. And what it taught me, the older I got, was that if I wanted it, if it was something that wasn't a necessity. I mean, because, you know, let's face it, your parents need to make sure you have school clothes and school supplies and stuff. But it doesn't mean that it has to be expensive things. You know, just as long as you're not going to school naked. But it taught me that if I wanted like what the other kids had, or if I wanted something nice, I had to work for it. You know, I had to cut the grass. I had to babysit the children. I had to sit on the children, cut the grass, pass the newspapers. And it gave me a very strong work ethic. You know, I wanted a waterbed because everybody that I went to school with had waterbeds. Well, guess what, honey? I cut grass and babysat children and passed newspapers and everything until I had the money to buy a waterbed. You know, Mom and Dad didn't give it to me. You know, my very first car ever, I paid for it. It was my mother's old car, but I paid for it. You see what I'm saying? Kids nowadays, it's just like hand them everything and then they expect it. And like I said, that's where that sense of entitlement comes in. Well, you should. What do you mean I don't get a new car? So, you know, like I said, I had a very strict mother. And like I said, growing up, yeah, I was like, you had you. But now, at the age of 46, I understand why she did it. And I'm glad. Because it made me a very independent person. It made me a very self-sufficient person, and I find myself at a place now where I am, and anybody who knows me will tell you I am fiercely independent and maybe just a little stubborn, but I just that's the way I was raised. You know, I don't need anybody to take care of me. I don't need nobody to do nothing for me. And rarely will I let anybody do anything for me. I just call it pride, call it stubborn, call it what have you. But I'm a very independent person. So you can blame my mom for that, and you can blame my father. So there you go. But I'm also very respectful, and I'm very, you know, yes ma'am, no ma'am. I mean, I might call you a whore, but one minute, but I will say yes ma'am if you ask me a question. I was just raised with manners. And it's funny because I'll go to the store, I'll go to the little, you know, the little gas station or something, and I'll, you know, may I please get this or may I please get that, and it's really sad. It's a sad connotation when the people that work there, they smile and they say thank you, because we're not used to people saying please and thank you. And I'm like, when did we get away from that? Because growing up, that was the standard. That was the gold standard. You said please and thank you. If nothing else, because Mr. Cartoon told you to. Always say please and thank you. But you know what? Kids nowadays, they don't say no please and thank you. They say screw you, bitch. It's pretty accurate. It's sad. People wonder why I rarely leave my house. It's safer here. It's a lot safer. I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. I really don't. I mean, it's just, I don't know. You know, I've made the comment before that, you know, it'd be so nice just to go back to a simpler time. And of course, people bring up the fact that, you know, all the advances that we've made, and, you know, from a technological and a social and medicinal standpoint, and that's all great, well, good, and fine. I'm cool with that. But I'm just talking about the mentality. I just wish that somehow we didn't have to sacrifice all the wonderful gains that we've made, and just be able to be back in a time where people were just simple, and life was simple, and people were kind, and people were nice, and you know, don't get me wrong, I do have a little mean streak. I do. It's not very big, but it exists. But for the most part, I'm one of these type people. I truly believe in the golden rule. I mean, it might sound simple and stupid, and but I mean, when you really stop and think about it, treat people the way you want to be treated. How hard is that? And if everybody subscribed to that theory, this would be a much better world. It really would. So that's why I'm always telling y'all bitches to be nice and pretty, because God don't like ugly. He just don't. So anyway, well, that's all I've got. So this little hangout is coming to a close. So in conclusion, I hope y'all had a good day. A little chilly here today, not horrible, but a little brisk in the shade. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm gonna let you all know how the irons turns out. I said, honey, it's like old. I'm old lady, old granny with all her damn pill bottles just to I said, I guess get me one of them damn AARP cards or something so I can get the early bird special, or I can get the old lady discount or something. See, that's the tragedy of not looking your age. I mean, it's lovely. It's great to look a lot younger than you really are, but the downside is people don't want to come up off the discounts and shit because they don't think you're old. See, I've got the gray hair. I'm thinking that was... See, people think it was just a cosmetic choice. No. I want the senior citizen discount. So, I'm going to have to work on some wrinkles or something next. I don't know. Anyway, there it is. Thank you for listening to me ramble. Appreciate it. I'm going to go play some Farm Heroes Saga. And then I'm going to have dinner. It may or may not be from the freezer. But the good news there, and like I told my doctor today, my nurse practitioner, at least I bake everything. You know, I like the meatballs and the raviolis. And I do like the pizza rolls, I'm not going to lie. But I just put them on a baking sheet and put them in the oven. So it's not as if I'm frying them. But I will tell you that when I got home last night, I did put some beef and noodles in the crock pot. Well, I didn't put the noodles. I put the beef. And let that simmer on low all night. And then I put the noodles in it this morning. And then I stuck it in the fridge. So that my noodles would be nice and not soggy, not mushy. So I did that. So that's what I may have for the dinner times. I don't know. Because you know what? Or maybe I should just drink a damn bottle of Crisco or something. Because, you know, she's checking my thyroids and my lipids and all that hoopla. And I'll find out tomorrow how that is. So if my cholesterol's high, maybe I need to eat some grease or something tonight. Because I'm sure that's going to be one more medication I'm going to have to take. I'm going to have to get me a cane and... Yeah. So if y'all want to, if you got one of them fry daddies or something, come on over. We'll deep fry everything. And I guess if she calls me tomorrow and tells me all that shit's hot, I won't be able to get to the pharmacy till Wednesday. So maybe we'll just have the grease party tomorrow night. It's going to be a BYOC, bring your own Crisco, and we'll fry everything. I don't care. We'll fry your shoes, your mom. Doesn't matter to me. So. She just wants to be all alone. And you think she treats you wrong. Don't take it personal. Anyway, y'all behave, and I'll talk at you later.